Okay, so this is solve an equation, and again, I want to point out there's a link here. I would recommend looking at it. The guy's quite good, and he's certainly, I would recommend, looking at other people work problems too, by the way. But I do see this quadratic equation, and I know they want to solve that quadratic equation, but they go on to say that x is a complex number, and they want you to write your answer in the form a plus bi, all right, where a and b are some real numbers, all right. What I'll do is go to the whiteboard and make some attempt to do it, all right. Now, granted, a lot of times people say, I wonder what the answer looks like. I know what the answer looks like. They told me what the answer looks like. It looks like this over here. Now, with the understanding that a and b are real numbers, I just don't know what those real numbers are. So I'm going to write this down over here, x squared, and then I got minus 2ix, and then I got this plus 2 minus 4i equals 0. I'm going to use the quadratic formula, and the quadratic formula applies to this over here. And that would be x equals, you get 2a in the bottom, minus b, plus or minus, let's see, the b squared minus 4ac. So what I got to do over here, I got to identify a couple different things, a few things actually. One, that's what the a is. The b is actually minus 2i, and the c is going to be 2 minus 4i. And now I can use my quadratic formula and announce I got an answer like immediately. Let's put this over here. And what I put in bottom, I put twice the a down, which is 2. Then I put the opposite of b down, which is 2i, plus or minus, and then I get this over here. And what do I do there? I square the b, and if you square the b, you'd get 4i squared, which is minus 4. Then it's minus 4 times the a, which is 1, times the c, which is 2 minus 4i. I got to simplify that. X equals 2i. This is 2, plus or minus. And I'm looking at this thing over here. Let me take a look. I got to be careful about this because I'm seeing something, and I'm seeing, minus 4, minus 8, which is minus 12. And then what do I see? I actually see plus 16i. All right, all I did was I simplified this over here. Now I'm looking at this thing over here, and it looks kind of disturbing to me. It's not in the form I want. But before I do anything, I want to kind of clean this up a little bit. I'm going to say x equals 2i plus or minus, still a 2. I'm going to factor a 4 out from the radicand. And that would give me the square root of 4 is 2. And what do you get over there? Well, if I factor 4 out, it's minus 3 plus 4i. All right, I got that. Now my question is, what do you do with that? Well, I'm going to reduce it. I get x equals, I get the I, plus or minus the square root of minus 3 plus 4i. And to me, this is a nested root. And I'm looking at this, and I'm wondering how to get that unnested. And I'm going to look through it and see if I can figure that out. Right, so I need to denest this guy. And the reason for that is I need to find out what that is, the complex number. There's many ways to do it. All right, what I'm going to claim over here, I'm going to do side work on here. There's going to be side work. And I'm trying to denest this guy over here. And what I'm going to claim over here, I'm going to claim that this over here is equal to the square root of some number alpha plus the square root of some number beta. I just don't know what they are. I'm denesting it. I would probably square both sides. And what would you get? You'd get minus 3 plus 4i equals alpha plus beta. And then you're going to get plus. All right, I got to be careful about this. There's going to be 2 square root of alpha beta. All right. I'm kind of looking at this, and I'm wondering what to do now. And I'm looking at this, and I'm starting to see that this thing over here, I'm going to say alpha and beta are some numbers. I'm just going to simply say it's minus 3. Which means 4i is equal to 2, the root of alpha beta. Now that's true, by the way. Alpha and beta is going to have an opposite sign because it's going to be a complex number. I need that I in it. So I'm looking at this thing, and I'm going to say it's really not that bad to do. Let me write this down again. I'm going to write this as 2I equals the square root of alpha plus beta. I realize some people looking at my 2 and the alpha look the same. Hopefully you can understand that my alpha is what I'm looking for. It's not the number 2. I think this can be done by inspection, all right? Now, granted, inspection, let's take a look. So I'm going to say alpha could be -4 and beta could be 1. Let me check that out. Now, certainly it works here. Right, -4 plus 1 does give me -3. Does it work over here? I think so, because you do -4 times 1, you get -4, and the square root of -4 is going to be 2I. However, I could have also said that alpha was equal to 1, and the beta was -4. That also works out, by the way. So I got 2 possibilities at this point. I'm going to write them down for you. X equals I plus or minus. And I'm going to look at this over here now and write this over here, that -3 plus 4I could be, not could be, but it's the square root of alpha plus the square root of beta. What's square root of alpha? Let's do this one first. You get 1, and then you'd get plus 2I. All right, that's one possibility. Let me write that down. All right, I'm going to put the other one down now. I plus or minus, and let's see this one over here. And what else could I choose for alpha? I guess I could do this one over here, and the alpha is -4, so what's that going to give me? 2I. All right, and then the beta is going to be 1, so I get the same thing. All right, that's good news. So I need to write this down now. X equals I, again, these are the same thing, plus 1 plus 2I. This will be one answer. The other answer is going to be I minus 1 minus 2I. And what do you get over here? You get 1 plus 3I. That's one answer. The other answer is going to be -1 minus I. And these are the 2 answers I'm getting. And we're done. Thank you.